Namaskar. As we discussed in previous lecture that Abhinav Bharat and work of Abhinav Bharat, particularly we can say various literature. For example, first freedom struggle of 1857, then biography of Joseph Mazzini. Like that, various things were written and they were published. Now, literature is the prime important key. Then, how to make bomb? Now, total two things are there. First, that is technique of bomb was taken first in India by members of Anushilan Samiti. Whereas, the bomb was not that effective. So, another technique that was taken from Russian armed revolutionists by members of Abhinav Bharat, named as Senapati Bapat, that is Panduranga Mahadev Bapat, from Russian armed revolutionists. And like that, various things were carried out by Abhinav Bharat. Now, Savarkar was imprisoned and taken to jail for lifetime imprisonment, transportation for life, twice. So he was taken to jail of Andaman. Many people are believing that after that no armed revolutionary work was carried out by Savarkar, but it is not true. The thing is that he was not able to write down what the work he achieved. So we don't have evidences of that, but we can get and we can guess through various activities. Let us check one by one. One of the members of Abhinav Bharat later on started another movement that is called as Gadar movement. The Gadar movement was set up essentially in Canada and USA at that time by the great armed revolutionarist Lala Hardayal. So Lala Hardayal started this movement and many other people also joined this movement. At the same time, it was having another wing in Germany. As we discussed in earlier discussion also, that Savarkar was in contact with German people, or particularly Germans at that time, and a committee was set up that is called as Berlin Committee. That is to interact with Germany. We have to get help from Germany and we can get freedom after that. So, enemy of enemy is our friend. And for that purpose, Berlin Committee was set. Virendranath Chattopadhyay, Bhupendranath Datta and Lala Hardayal was key founder of Berlin Committee. At that time, it was decided that we have to take help of these Germans, and so that enemy of enemy is our friend. So our enemy Britishers enemy Germany, so we can get help from Germany. So like that things were carried out. Hindu-German conspiracy, that was the important thing happened due to this. Now, what is the achievement of this all? So you have to get connection. Say first Abhinav Bharat, but the key member of Abhinav Bharat, that is Babarao Savarkar and Veer Savarkar, that is Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, both were arrested. They were at Andaman, but they were having communication with these all people. How? We don't know. Britishers they said that there are evidences that communication is going on, but how we don't know. Why? Because at that time, only one letter was allowed for the prisoner of Andaman to send to his family and one to receive. That is also thoroughly checked by linguistic experts that no coding is there. However, Savarkar was in contact with various armed revolutionists when he was there at Andaman, how nobody ever detected. So simple thing is that these members, they achieved first thing that to get help of Germany. Now Kaiser William II from Germany was having certain targets. Out of that, Britain was their enemy, and they wanted to defeat Britain. For that purpose, their resources should be cut down. So if India is achieving freedom, then automatically British resources were going to cut out. And for that purpose, they decided to help India. They sent a warship that is called as Amden. Though I am pronouncing Amden, in their language they pronounce Emden. Spelling starts with E. So Emden or Amden, that warship was there, fully loaded with arms. These arms were to distribute to armed revolutionists of Punjab. Ghadar movement was set up. Ghadar party was established. Ghadar movement was set up. The Amden was having two tasks. First, to get freed the prisoners at Andaman, armed revolutionists at Andaman, and second, to give weapons to these people in Punjab and carry out armed revolution. However, the third important thing also achieved along with that, that is, Free India government was established. This government was established in Afghanistan by Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh. Maulana Barkatullah, they established government at Kabul. The first president of this government was Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh, whereas that prime minister was Maulana Barkatullah, and many other people are there. You can search on Google for details of this, because in history, particularly in school history, these topics are not taught in detail. But the first way we got exiled government of India, that is, we can say provincial, temporary government, but yes, it was established. That is the biggest achievement of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh. However, within a year, they were have to dissolve that. But Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh, it is said that he went abroad in various countries, particularly in Russia. He was searching help from Lenin, and like that he carried out various tasks at that time. He returned back to India only after India's freedom, and then he contested elections also from Madhya Pradesh, and he got elected against it is said that first election of great person of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So he was there in the election at that time. Anyway, so this is something we are talking about Ghadar movement. However, Britishers were able to successfully destroy this warship at at Chennai, near Chennai, and then the movement was ended. Many people were arrested. They got 2 years imprisonment, like minimum punishment, and death penalty as maximum punishment. Death penalty was received by Kartar Singh Sarabha and Vishnu Ganesh Pingale. Vishnu Ganesh Pingale was 23 years old, engineer, basically from Pune. He was engineering this entire movement, Ghadar movement. One important person was taking care of the Ghadar movement in India, that was the great armed revolutionarist, that is Rasa Bihari Bose. Rasa Bihari Bose also tried to assassinate Lord Hardinge when Britishers were shifting out their capital from Calcutta, at that time Calcutta, now Kolkata, to New Delhi. He decided to enter in New Delhi like Mughal monarch. For that purpose, he was there on elephant and he was entering in Delhi, a soft target. Bomb was there with Rasa Bihari Bose, and they used it. But unfortunately, aim was not perfect. And so instead of Lord Hardinge, his orderly was injured. But the threat was received till England that Viceroy is not secured in India. Already one Viceroy was assassinated in India. Only one viceroy, when he was viceroy, he was assassinated in India. His name is Lord Earl of Mayo. But he was not assassinated by these armed revolutionaries. Instead of that person from Wahhabi movement, that was from Afghanistan, Sher Ali Afridi. He was taken to Andaman for lifetime deportation. Whereas he was saying that what is my crime and what punishment I received is much more than what it receives, it reserved. And so he decided to take revenge peacefully. He was very, very good person in the jail. And so he was sent outside jail within just 5 years. But don't leave Afghanistan, don't leave Andaman. You have to stay in Andaman only. A field was given, house was given, he was using to stay there. Very good person at Andaman jail. Like that his report. When Viceroy visited Andaman, at that time this fellow was taken in front of Viceroy by very good prisoner, honest prisoner, and then he stabbed out him. Unfortunately, this Lord Earl of Mayo didn't die at Andaman. He was taken back to Kolkata but didn't survive, and then he died out there. Whereas Sher Ali Afridi was tortured to very great extent and finally hanged out in Andaman. Anyway, but other viceroys, many attempts were there to kill them, but our armed revolutionaries were not having success. Anushilan Samiti was active in Bengal and rest of part of India also. They carried out good type of armed revolutionary work, particularly Khudiram Bose, Prafulla Kumar Chaki, like that armed revolutionaries were great at that time. Whereas we'll get idea that various armed revolutionaries, they were hanged out. They were very, very young. But they were tried and hanged out by Britishers at that time. Anyway, Savarkar was there in the jail. He was there for 10 years at Andaman. Now here is the key factor. Many people say that he was sending out petitions. Yeah, it's right of any prisoner to send out petition. But have you read that petition? Try to read. You'll realize maximum petitions, he says that give me freedom what is given according to the British law only. Okay? So he was not saying set me out, but treat me according to British law. So 5 years he should be there in Andaman jail. After that he should release from jail but allowed to settle at Andaman. He was asking that. Many times he said that okay, forget me, but other armed revolutionists are there, please leave them from the jail. Like that petitions are also there. His idea was, when he was arrested at that time, there was no dialogue between Britishers and Indians. But in latter phase, particularly Montagu-Chelmsford reform onwards, Indians were able to become ministers in the government of Britishers. Now if Britishers are doing this task, then we should not also go for this armed revolution. Anyway, but he was taken to Ratnagiri after that, in jail of Ratnagiri only. Say jail. He was not set free. For 10 years he was there at Andaman. Then for 4 years he was there at Ratnagiri. And then he was released from jail only with the condition you should not participate in politics, you should not participate obviously in the armed revolution and all that, you should not write anything political way, and you should not leave the border of Ratnagiri district. And then for 1920, from 1924 to 1937, he was there in the Ratnagiri. At that time, he carried out a lot of things like social reforms. A Patit Pawan Mandir was developed by Bhagoji Shed Kir, a great person. he constructed this temple in 1931. The temple was completed. It was open to all Hindus. At that time it was revolutionary work because we were having a very unfortunate but the problem of untouchability and all that. One can enter in temple, one cannot enter in temple, and like that restrictions were there. But the Patit Pawan Mandir was open to all Hindus and anybody can go inside. So like that systems were carried out at that time. So this is the work of freedom fighter Savarkar, but at that time also he was in contact with armed revolutionists. So when he was there at Andaman, he was in contact with armed revolutionists. So after freedom also, freedom means he was released from jail. Obviously he was in contact. It is said, we don't have evidences, but it is said that Bhagat Singh was in contact with Savarkarji. How Bhagat Singh will never come like, I am Bhagat Singh, but in form of some servant, some vendor, something like that, he used to visit to Savarkar's house. Like that things are told. We don't have evidences. But if you check Lahore conspiracy, name who got death penalty, Kartar Singh Siraba, obviously from Punjab, but Vishnu Ganesh Pingle from Pune. Try to find out connection. Bhagat Singh Ji, the great armed revolutionist from Lahore, Punjab. Second armed revolutionist Sukhdev Thapar from Haryana. At that time it was part of Punjab only. But third person, Shivram Hari Rajguru from Pune, Rajguru Nagar. Now it is called as Rajguru Nagar. At that time it was called as Khed, near Pune. So he was from that. So why a person from Pune is in contact with persons of Punjab? So some connection was there. But what was that? That is not written, not mentioned. But these armed revolutionists were having some internal contacts. Anyway, so there was a incident in Uttar Pradesh, particularly at time of non-cooperation movement. That was Chauri Chaura incident. And Gandhiji stopped out the movement of non-cooperation suddenly, abruptly. Many people were not ready to accept it, but they accepted forcefully. I don't want to speak that sentence, but in Hindi one line is always spoken after that. Anyway, but you can remember at it. But the thing is that there was establishment of Hindustan Republican Army, or some people called it as association. So short form HRA. This was established, and then they decided to carry out work. The most important work carried out, that is Kakori train incident, that is Kakori train conspiracy, where Chandrasekhar Azad, Ras Bihari Bose, Ashfaqullah Khan, like that armed revolutionists, they raid on the train, said passengers were not looted, only the treasury of government that was sacked out at Kakori. This wealth was utilized for armed revolution. But ultimately Britishers investigated and hanged out almost all people involved except Chandrasekhar Azad. He was shot dead at Alfred Park incident. Ras Bihari Bose is the great person. He was there in Lahore conspiracy but not arrested. He was there at Lord Harding bomb blast, but he was not able to get connected. He was there in Kakori but not arrested, managed to escape. He took name something like Tagore and escaped from Bengal to Japan, beyond reach of British police. But at that time there was friendship between Japan and Britain. But he managed to marry with Japanese woman, and now he got citizenship of Japan, and so Japanese police were not able to arrest him, and he carried out his work from Japan. He was in contact with armed revolutionists. Now this is era of 1937. Prior to that, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhadev, Batukeshwar Datta, they converted this HRA into Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. So they were now influenced by socialist activities. And then one important revenge was taken by these people, that is assassination of Saunders. Saunders was the responsible person for incident of Lala Lajpat Rai. In the Lathi charge of Lala Lajpat Rai was very elderly leader of Congress, but he was killed in this. Because of that, he died out. So Saunders is a responsible person, and Saunders was killed by Rajguru and Sukhadev. Later on, there was a bill which was against workers. It was going to be presented in assembly. So Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Datta carried out bomb blast there. But the bomb blast was not powerful. It was just smoky bomb making only noise. That voice of bomb should reach to England. They can open a deep ear of British government for that purpose. And then, obviously, these people were arrested. And then Rajguru, Sukhadev, and Bhagat Singh, all these armed revolutionaries were hanged out on 23rd May. In spite, 23rd March, in spite, there was an opportunity to Gandhiji, because Gandhiji was there to meet Viceroy Irving for Gandhi-Irving Pact. But Viceroy said, British rule is there according to the system and we can't go against the system. And so Gandhiji accepted that. That's why Gandhiji was shown. He was welcomed with black flag in Congress. Who carried out this task? Subhash Chandra Bose. Karachi session of Congress. Anyway, but these are the incidents at that time. In 1937, finally, we got provincial government. According to 1935, Government Act of India 1935, there was a dual system. That was, the province was given in the hands of Indians, whereas central government was kept under hands of Britishers. With elections, India got a sort of dominion status, but partitioned off. According to Act of 1935, India was partitioned off. Brahmadesh, that means Burma, today it is called as Myanmar, was separated from India. Whereas Sri Lanka, at that time it was called as Ceylon, that was also separated from India as a separate nation. Keep in mind, in 1905, there was proposed partition of Bengal as East Bengal and West Bengal. Leader was Lokmanya Tilak, and Lokmanya Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai and Bipin Chandra Pal, they carried out pan-India movement against this partition of internal partition of Bengal. Whereas now this was actual partition of India. Myanmar and Sri Lanka was separated from India, but we were happy because we were getting dominion status. These nations were not part of India. Let them go. Alright. And then the great work was there, that is establishment of local governments. Britishers were now taken friendly move. Why? Because in Germany Hitler was there. In 1933 Hitler got power. In 1934 only he showed that he is marching the world towards World War. And now this time Britishers wanted help of Indians. Particularly Indian people should involved in war. But at that time the composition of Indian army was something different. 60 to 65% Muslims were there in Indian army. whereas only 30 to 35% Hindus were there. With this ratio, and Muslims were now not ready to participate in World War. Why? Because last time, in First World War, they were cheated by Britishers regarding their Khalifa. Whereas Savarkarji was having a foresight. He was saying that, okay, within next few years we are getting freedom. Already some people are demanding Pakistan. And so Hindus should be there in the army. I am curtailing out my speech over here. And the treasurer of Swatantraveer Savarkar Rashtriya Smarak, Sau Manjiri Marathi, is giving information, but this speech is in Hindi. You can turn out CC in English and listen out. Or if you are able to understand Hindi, then all right, only 4 minutes some speech is there, but very, very important essence is there. So now we are going to listen that.
वंदे मातरम। देश के विभाजन के बाद हिंदुस्तान का अस्तित्व बना रहा तो वो केवल और केवल स्वातंत्र्यवीर सावरकर जी ने किए हुए सैनिकीकरण के प्रयास से ही संभव हुआ। और ये मैं नहीं कह रही हूँ, इतिहास इसका प्रमाण है और नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस इसके साक्षी है। ब्रिटिश हम पर राज कर रहे थे, सेना उन्हीं की थी, लेकिन सैनिक भारतीय थे। उनमें से 65% थे मुस्लिम और 30 से 35% थे हिंदू। 27 वर्ष ब्रिटिशों के चंगुल में रहने के बाद स्वातंत्र्यवीर सावरकर जी को 1937 में पूर्ण रूप से मुक्त कर दिया गया। द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध के पश्चात यदि जापान हिंदुस्तान पर आक्रमण करता है तो हिंदुस्तान का रक्षण करने में इंग्लैंड सक्षम नहीं था और इसीलिए ब्रिटेन के महाराज्यपाल लॉर्ड लिनलिथगो ने भारत के नेताओं से चर्चा की, जिन्हें उन्होंने 27 वर्ष तक बंदी बनाकर रखा था। उन वीर सावरकर जी से भी वे मिले। सावरकर जी ने उन्हें कहा कि हिंदुस्तान पर आक्रमण होगा तो वो पूर्व दिशा से होगा। वायव्य दिशा में बुरखा और शेख पलटने रखनी चाहिए। कुछ हिंदू जातियां लड़ने में सक्षम नहीं है ऐसा मानकर ब्रिटिश उन्हें सेना में भर्ती नहीं करते थे। सावरकर जी ने लिनलिथगो से कहा कि ये भेद मिटाकर सभी हिंदुओं को सेना में भर्ती करना चाहिए। उस समय लॉर्ड लिनलिथगो ने भी कहा था कि भारतीय दृष्टिकोण से युद्ध परिस्थिति का ज्ञान होने वाले सावरकर एकमेव नेता है। कोंकणी, आगरी, कोली, भंडारी इन जातियों को समुद्र का बहुत अच्छा ज्ञान होता है। तो सावरकर जी ने उनका भी प्रबोधन किया और उन सहस्रों हिंदुओं ने ब्रिटिशों से मांग की कि उन्हें नौसेना में भर्ती किया जाए और उन्हें सम्मिलित भी किया गया। अपने लेखों और भाषणों के माध्यम से स्वातंत्र्यवीर सावरकर सैनिकीकरण का समर्थन करते रहे। नासमझ विरोधी उन्हें रिक्रूटवीर कहते थे, लेकिन सावरकर जी का सैनिकीकरण का प्रचार निरंतर चलता रहा, क्योंकि द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध को वे भारत की स्वतंत्रता के लिए एक उत्तम अवसर मानते थे। उनका मानना था कि आप ब्रिटिश की सेना में भर्ती हो जाएंगे तो ब्रिटिश आपको संपूर्ण शिक्षा और शस्त्र भी देंगे। आपके हाथ में बंदूक होगी और बंदूक की नली समय आने पर किस दिशा में घुमानी है वे आपके नियंत्रण में होगा। ये विचार ही उनकी दूरदर्शिता को प्रमाणित करता है। इतना ही नहीं, यूरोप से हिंदुस्तान युद्ध सामग्री ले आना ब्रिटेन के लिए संभव नहीं था, इसीलिए वे यहीं पे तोपों और अन्य शस्त्रों के उद्योग का आरंभ करने वाले थे। सावरकर जी ने हिंदुओं को ऐसे उद्योग आरंभ करने का और ब्रिटिशों के उद्योग में काम करने का भी परामर्श दिया। सावरकर जी के सैनिकीकरण के प्रचार के कारण ब्रिटिश सेना में हिंदुओं की संख्या निरंतर बढ़ती रही। नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस ने 1944 में सिंगापुर आकाशवाणी से किए हुए भाषण में कहा था कि स्वतंत्रवीर सावरकर जी के सैनिकीकरण के प्रचार के कारण ही आज़ाद हिंद सेना को 35 से 40 सहस्त्र प्रशिक्षित सैनिक मिले थे। स्वतंत्रवीर सावरकर जी के इन्हीं सैनिकीकरण के प्रयास के कारण ब्रिटिश सेना में हिंदुओं की संख्या बढ़कर 65% हो गई और मुसलमानों की संख्या घटकर 30 से 35% रह गई, जिसके पश्चात मुस्लिम अपनी संख्या बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता पर बल देने लगे। 1947 में देश का विभाजन धर्म के आधार पर ही हुआ और मुस्लिम पलटनें भी पाकिस्तान चली गई। उस समय अगर मुस्लिम सैनिकों की संख्या दुगुनी होती तो अगले ही दिन पाकिस्तान ने हम पर आक्रमण कर संपूर्ण हिंदुस्तान पर अधिकार जमा लिया होता, किंतु भारत की सेना हमारी रक्षा करने में पूर्णतः सक्षम थी। इसीलिए उस समय हिंदुस्तान का जो अस्तित्व बना रहा वो केवल स्वातंत्र्यवीर सावरकर ने किए हुए सैनिकीकरण के प्रयास से ही हुआ और ये तो हमें स्वीकार करना ही पड़ेगा। जय हिंद।
Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was expelled from Congress. Why? He got elected twice as president of Congress. And then some dispute was there between the chief people, or we can say headquarter of Congress, and Netaji. And finally Netaji was removed from the post. He was removed from Congress also. He was what we can say is his membership of Congress was suspended for 6 years. He went to Bengal. He established new party as Forward Bloc. Then he came to Mumbai to visit Barrister Jinnah to find out solution of Hindu-Muslim unity. Barrister Jinnah asked him to take leader of Hindu, that is Veer Savarkar. Why? Because in 1937, Savarkar got rescued, freed from all these things. Now he was having no litigation regarding participation in political party, and he joined Hindu Mahasabha. The proper name Akhil Bharatiya Hindu Mahasabha. He got elected as president of Hindu Mahasabha, and for 6 consecutive years he was there as president of Hindu Mahasabha. Right from Karnavati means Ahmedabad, he was elected as president. Now, he said that if you want to make Hindu-Muslim unity, then call leader of Hindu, that is Veer Savarkarji, to me. Then Netaji went to Savarkar's house, that is at Dadar, whereas Savarkar said, this is not important question right now, that is Hindu-Muslim unity and all that. No. What is the most important thing? We have to achieve our freedom. We have to get help from outside. Who is there to help you? Obviously, Hitler. Germany will help. Why? Try to recollect Berlin Committee and all that work. So he was having in contact with them. Go to Germany. Germans will help us. Netaji was not ready to accept. Then Savarkarji shown him letter of Rasa Bihari Bose. See, here is the communication factor. Ras Bihari Bose was in contact with Savarkarji. He was there at Japan. He said that Japan is likely to participate in World War. Like that activities are going on. The secret letter was there with Savarkarji. And then Subhash Babu said, yes, I will do it, but first I will go to Bengal. Savarkar said, don't go there, because once you are going to Bengal, you will get arrested. But still, Subhash Babu went to Bengal. He got house arrest. Then he managed to escape and go to Germany. I am telling in one line, but practically, really he got various troubles by facing various hardships. He managed to go to Germany. He learned German language because we have to set dialogue with Hitler in German. He got meeting with Ribbentrop, the foreign minister of Germany, then Goebbels, but finally the main meeting was there with Hitler. Hitler said that yes, we are there in Russia, but it will take long time that we can enter in India. Right now Japan is entering in the war, so you can go to Japan. Now the person already entered from Bengal to Japan, Germany, and now Hitler is asking him to go to Japan. But Hitler declared him as a president of India. This is the point where villain Hitler turns hero for us. And he managed a submarine for him. that submarine will take that submarine will take Subhash Babu from Germany to Japan. The journey was very hard, but Subhash Babu managed it. Prior to that, he was having dialogue with Indians from German radio. Then he went to Japan. By that period, Japan was there in the war. Britain versus Japan war was going on. Japan was having a simple movement, Pan-Asiaism. Asia for Asian people. And then at Battle of Singapore, some 80,000 Indian soldiers were arrested. From where? What? The recruitment was carried out by Savarkarji. At that time, Savarkar was delivering speech everywhere that come on, join Indian army. Why? Because we want to increase our number in the army. Number one. Number two, when we were carrying out armed revolution, at that time, suppose a single bullet was found in our house, Britishers were torturing us for 15 days to 1 month. Whereas now these Britishers are teaching us how to use gun, how to use cannon, how to use tanks, all that. So learn weapon. Then we can turn out them at any our desired direction. These 80,000 soldiers, many of them were out of that, these people. Ras Bihari Bose was able to establish INA, that is Indian National Army, from these arrested soldiers. Japanese were not our enemy, they were our friend. They developed this, and then Subhash Babu reached at Japan. Ras Bihari Bose handed over the control of INA to Subhash Babu. And with Japanese army, Subhash Babu managed to get attack over India from eastern side. But when they came to India, they said that first our army will go back by Japanese because we want to conquer India from Britishers. It should not happen that Japanese are conquering and then giving it to us. So they conquered Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Immediately they named that island as Shahid and Swaraj. Then in the Battle of Imphal, that is in Manipur, he was defeated. Because by that time Japan was about to accept its defeat. And finally, Subhash Babu was defeated, INA was defeated from that point. However, INA was having great success because it was something British army was ready to fight against Britishers. That is the INA only. In Mumbai, there was issue. There was a boat named as Talwar. Somebody wrote on that Vande Mataram. And then British officers were against that. And then sailors rebelled against Britishers. Finally, they were not able to control that ship. Entire ship was under control of Indians. Finally, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel went there and carried out the thing. And then they surrendered. Surrender means decided to accept British order only when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel mediated them. So, these incidents were important, and for that purpose, Attlee, the Prime Minister of England at that time, keep in mind, it was not a rule of Queen, it was rule of King. King George IV was ruling from England, and Attlee said, we are giving freedom to India. Why? Number one clause, Indian army is no more loyal with Britishers. This is the key factor. This is the importance of recruitment in army. Whereas in first freedom struggle of India, that means in 1857, Britishers were able to take European army to India. We are not in position to do so right now. That means we are not in position to send British army in India right now. Why? Because already it was broken out by Hitler to very great extent. And therefore, they were not able to send this army to India. And finally, we want to give freedom to India. This is the way India got freedom. Actually, I should not use word got. We achieved. We taken out it from Britishers. That is because of armed revolutionary activities in India. This is the end of our lecture series. Thanks for observing.